What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Movie Talks, the only podcast we do for movie news, movie reviews, and more. Episode 119. Look out, we are coming to you. We've got so many things packed in for you this week. So we have Moana. Number two is breaking
Yep.
box office records at the moment. And then we have hot off the take, which I actually forgot that it was coming out, but it is Dune Prophecy. So we
Hmm.
like the original, well, the two new Dunes, I guess. I also like Frank
Definitely.
Herbert's newest one. Well, not newest one, mini series, the original, because it was like real campy. But this is got the stylized treatment that the movie's got, and then we've got the newest outing of Netflix's pumping out of Christmas films. This is called Hot Frosty. So Jack the Snowman is coming at you. He's coming to life. How good?
Sure is.
How good?
Hot
And
Frosty.
just on that Moana one, it is Moana 2 is breaking records at the moment with its
Of course it is.
386 million opening at the global box office. No surprises there, like you would expect.
Yeah, we knew it would do well. It's
Yeah.
as it is though. A lot of people like Damo included, even my wife. I was watching it last night. She's like, "What are you watching? Watching Moana?" I was like, "No, Moana 2." She's like, "Is Moana 2 exists?" Yeah. A lot of people I know who's not part of the Disney give a shit didn't know it existed.
Look, yeah, it did get overshadowed by the live action announcement rather than the actual, I guess, pumping of number two, which is a weird thing. I don't know what they're doing. But another franchise that is getting a film is Sony has now revealed the first poster for 28 years later.
All right,
Yeah.
interesting.
I would
Going from
have.
days to weeks to months to now years.
Is there already three of them? Is there? I thought there was only two. I thought it was 28 days, 28 weeks, and then this one.
There's no months. You're right. So they're going
Yeah.
straight from weeks to years.
Yeah, which is bizarre. Like, I would have thought they would milk this out a little bit. Like, what's the next jump if they're going to go for here? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
28 days, weeks, months, and then if they wanted a fourth one, they could have gone 28 years later. Weird
It's
take.
Killian Murphy as well.
Hmm. That'd be weird, but I really enjoyed the first one. The second one, I was like, nah,
I need to
whatever.
rewatch. It honestly been a long time since I don't even know what ones I have seen, to be honest. I know I've
Yeah,
seen days, but I'm not sure I've seen weeks.
okay. I- I'm not sure. But I gotta say, leading up to Christmas, there's a bit of a big releases coming out. So you ready for this?
Pumped.
Guess what comes out on the 10th of December, which is in 3 days' time, which will be what, 2 days' time when we get this released tomorrow. It is Secret Level is coming out.
Oh hell yeah.
Yep, on the 10th of
Yeah, it
December.
looks really interesting.
So
A lot
there's
of it
got
I'm not going to understand, but a lot of it I'm excited for.
there's going to be
Bless you.
15. Thank you. There's going to be 15 episodes. So each of them is going to be a different one, which Mega Man is one apparently.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, D&D is
Do you
going
know
to be one.
if they're doing like periodic releases, or is it all just here's 15 episodes?
I'm kind of hoping it's all 15 episodes. I don't know that they will. I feel like the smart option would be to release. Hang on, here we go. Got the list. They're gonna go one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven have the 10th of December drop, and then the
Okay.
remainder have the 17th of December drop.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
That's probably a clever way to do it. Give
I'm okay
people
with that.
give people enough, and then
I don't think weekly would work for this because it's one of those shows that I don't think everyone's going to watch every episode. There's episodes I'm not going to watch because I have no connection to whatever it is, you know?
yeah. Do you know what I reckon might actually be the most popular one? And it is the biggest Sony flop ever. Like I reckon Concord is going to get quite a few
You
people watching.
reckon?
I reckon just for the laugh
Imagine
of.
it. Imagine it gets people excited to play the game, and then they're like, "Oh, here we're going to re-release Concord, everybody."
I wonder when they signed this deal where they were like, "Oh, yep, this is a safe bet," and they wouldn't expect it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, funny.
I don't think. Yeah, I'm not sure. it's become a bit of a meme. People are talking about how, like, yeah, they're doing this episode on Concord. Like, obviously, a lot of money's been spent on it and whatever. Like, I'm not sure who'd be more upset, the game developers or the show developers, but
Ah,
no.
they got enough in there to warrant one messing up. I don't
But
think.
imagine it's really fucking cool.
Yeah, it'd be
And
nuts.
then it's like, well, now I want to play the game, but I can't.
No, well, unless it's like an arcane sort of thing where
Yeah,
all the
the game
memes are
means
like,
nothing.
yeah. But that secret level, it's out on the 10th and also the 17th of December. That's pretty cool. So getting you
Yep,
ready for
keen.
Christmas. And then coming out on the 11th to Netflix is Maria, which is Angelina Jolie emerges center stage. So she's doing the opera singer. So I've heard bits and pieces of this one. Apparently
Okay.
the story's kind of cool. I've got no connection to it, but that's
Maria Callas during her
yeah.
final days in 1970s Paris. Okay, I have no idea, but sure thing.
Yep. And
Good luck to
then
her.
one that we actually reacted to, we reacted to the trailer, which looks absolutely wild because
Minecraft?
he's like his
Oh,
mother and he's not strong enough. He's
oh, yeah, yeah.
Graven the Hunter. He looks absolute.
Craven.
He looks bad.
I really hope it's as shit as it looks. I hope it's as
Uh,
funny as Madam Web. I want more Madam Web movies.
I saw a TikTok before and it was like, I'm watching this for the plot, and it's just this bloke without his shirt on, and that was it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he's in good nick,
Hot
but
Frosty type shit.
yeah, but for whatever reason they decided to computer generate this lion, which I don't know what they were doing, and this lion was jacked. Like
Yeah,
he'd done a few stints away and got on the gear and
yeah.
away he
Right. I was gonna
came.
say it's on the roids.
It's like when Mike Tyson got out of prison and he was just ferocious, like he was insane.
Dangerous looking.
Yeah,
And the
crazy.
dad, played by fucking scooter riding McGavin. Fucking
Russell Crowe.
yeah.
Oh, and
What did he say? He was weak, weak like his mother. It's like he
yeah,
got mauled by a lion.
but like he looked terrified by the lion as well. I was like, that lion
Yeah.
looks terrifying. I'd be scared
Uh-huh.
too. I don't know what he's on about. He wasn't fighting it, but whatever.
No shit.
Whatever. I reckon this might be a Morpheus, the vampire one, the one played by Jared
Um,
Leto.
Morbius.
Morbius, yeah. Morpheus
Yeah.
is in Matrix. Yeah, that thing was shocker. And
I didn't
then
watch that. I've heard that's not as funny. I've heard that's just really boring.
yeah,
Whereas Madam Web's probably funny.
yeah, for the wrong
So
reasons.
that's what I want. That's what I want out of this. I want this to
Yeah,
be just really funny and stupid because the trailer made me laugh. I
yeah.
giggled a couple times.
And then also on the 13th, of the day after, we get the Lord of the Rings, the War for Rohirrim. So it
Sweet.
actually looks really cool. So we actually will talk about this and we'll announce it at the end, but what we're going to watch
That's
for
probably going to be our list. Yeah.
for the next one, but it's looking pretty solid. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
Also, Paddington, the third movie, is also out now as well.
I
So
saw that. Yeah. I
yeah,
thought you'd be keen on watching that. I know you love
yeah,
Paddington.
I love Paddington. Paddington's
Yeah.
sick. Yeah. I almost got an advanced screening on Monday for my job, but I decided to go on a different excursion.
Oh, right,
Instead of
right.
seeing Paddington, yeah.
Yeah, my
And
excursion's going to Moana too, which I'm so glad I'm not going to.
yeah. And then the 20th of December, we get Mufasa, the Lion King.
Oh
So,
yeah.
hmm,
It actually looks better. Like, as much as I hate the original, a big part of what made, I think I said this before on podcast, but a big part of what made the first one shit was that the animation, he kept saying how it had to look like a doco, and we didn't want our lions to have facial expressions because real lions don't have facial expressions, which is so fucking stupid. It's an animation.
yep.
They've gone a little bit backpedaled on that, and the new animation looks animated, like the faces and stuff.
Yeah, good.
So
Good.
it looks better in that respect, but still, I don't need a fucking origin story of Mufasa and Scar. Who gives a shit?
I don't mind that. I don't mind that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And also on the 20th, which is going to be competing with The Lion King, which I don't think he's going to do as well, but I'm actually really excited for it, is Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yeah, that's
Actually,
cool.
it looks good. Because the second movie was actually good. First one was average, but the second one was quite good.
Yeah, I can't have an opinion on that, but look, like I've said, the fact that Jim Carrey is still enjoying making them, I think says a lot. I think that it's at this point it's a passion project.
Yeah,
So, keep making them. If you're enjoying it, keep doing it.
yeah. And then we get season three of What If on the 22nd of December. So that is the What If in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Sure.
So yeah, they're kind of cool. I don't mind the What If stories. Like they're
Yeah, I think
animated,
it's
so
interesting.
they can go off and do whatever. And
Mm.
I have absolutely no idea how to say this name, but it is Nosferatu.
Nosferatu, the original
Yeah,
Dracula.
yeah. Is getting a, I'm assuming it's a Boxing Day release for us, but it does say December 25th release. So
Yep, yep.
actually looks pretty cool. William Dafoe, Bill Skarsdale are in this one.
William Dafoe.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. And
Yeah, it
then
looks cool. I'm down.
also on the same day, which is probably Boxing Day for us, is Baby Girl, which is Nicole Kidman's newest one. And for some
Oh,
reason, yeah, it's well, funny that you say that. It's a nice little segue. This film actually made the publicity or publoids or whatever you want to call it because during the filming she had to like walk off set to stop orgasming. So it was a
jeez.
weird,
I get it. To
yeah.
stop orgasming
Yeah.
this Christmas, get exactly what you want. Nicole Kidman, baby girl. It's A24. Okay.
Yeah. So,
An erotic thriller.
yeah. So there you
Alina
go.
Region. Who's that? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
An erotic thriller.
Yeah.
Bodies, bodies, bodies. Okay. Look, she hasn't got a good track record. This Helena Region. Oh no,
And
Rain. Range. I don't know how to pronounce that. That's a weird one.
mate, if you can't do it, I
Okay.
can. Yeah. So, whatever. We'll see. And then on December 26th, Netflix are releasing their smash hit second season. It is the Squid Game season two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, they have a Croc release coming very soon, which is doesn't look too bad actually.
Croc release, did you say?
Yeah, Crocs.
Like the shoes?
The shoes, yeah. They have
Netflix
a
have a Croc release.
no, 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 like Crocs. Crocs are releasing a Squid Games limited edition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, it looks
Yeah,
pretty cool.
right.
So the red light, green light is one of the giblets, and it's like quite massive. Like it's kind of cool, and it's got the
I
numbers on
love
the back, and it's actually pretty sick.
I
So
love Crocs like business model.
oh,
Just
so good. Look at this
don't
one.
take themselves too seriously.
I got the Demon Slayer ones.
Good looking Croc.
They're pretty cool. I look like a pretty cool
Is that your
guy.
third pair of Crocs? Second pair of Crocs.
Second, I'm actually Foot Locker still have the Naruto ones in stock. So I'm like,
You're real tempted, aren't you?
yeah, I'm probably gonna buy it after this. They got the Sasuke one when Sasuke goes off and like just leaves the Leaf Village where he gets his like rope sash on it. It actually looks pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm still yet to buy
yeah,
my first pair of Crocs. Maybe that's a Christmas present I can ask for this year. Ask my
do it,
mum for a pair of Crocs.
do it, and you'll be like, oh my God. The all-terrain ones are a little bit harder, where the standard pick ones are like so soft and cushy on your feet.
Yeah, I just want OGs. I don't want to, it's like your first time trying ice cream. You don't go straight to fucking crazy choc chip sprinkles, whatever. You just have nice vanilla.
Yeah, it's like
I want to
gateway.
try out the standard first. Exactly, the
There you
gateway.
go.
Gateway Crocs.
Yeah. Let's jump into our newest film that is breaking absolute records at the moment. It's going mental, which is weird because not that many people knew about it from like the general populace, but whatever.
Yeah, that doesn't mean a lot of advertising, but
No.
maybe, like I said, maybe those who do really care about the original and think it's fucking brilliant are really excited.
Hmm. Look, I,
Whereas,
I like the original. I quite enjoy it.
before we go into it, then, what did you rate? What would you rate the original looking back?
It's like 4.5. Like I really
Jeez,
enjoyed it.
really?
Yeah, like it was good. It was one of the better ones I've seen. Like it's good catchy songs. I felt for the characters. It was that like it had some good humor in it. And then
Yeah, right.
the newest ones aren't that like solid though.
newest Disney in general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was probably the last Disney one where I was like, yeah, that was great. Like Elements wasn't great. I don't think that was Pixar. Was that Pixar or was that?
I have no idea.
And then Inside Out 2, I was like, whatever.
I like
Um,
two a lot.
yeah, it was all right.
I gave Moana one a three.
Wow,
I think
okay.
initially gave it a 2.5, and I gave it then I changed it to a three when I rewatched it earlier this year at school.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean I don't mind the first. I think it's fine, but I still don't like fucking go nuts over it like a lot of people do. 4.5's a big rating, man. All right,
Yeah, I like it.
that's fair. You're allowed to. I'm glad
Mate, I've watched a lot of kids' movies.
you have.
A
Yeah.
lot of kids' movies. So
All right,
this
cool.
one's
Well, I just wanted that context to see, where how you stood on the first one
what'd you
coming
give
into the
it?
second. The first one, a three.
All right, let's give it, it's a average is 3.5 for the first one.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
We'll average it out. Yep.
yeah. A three and a 4.5. Three and a four, or whatever you said. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Sure, sure,
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
All right, let's
Yep.
let's
So
Moana to this bitch.
cool. So we both like the original. Yep. Cool.
Yeah, I
Cool.
liked it.
Stems.
I didn't
Yeah,
love it.
okay. Okay.
It's good. It's not fantastic, but
You're
it's good.
you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Mm.
The songs are
After,
good.
yeah. So after receiving an unexpected call from her wave-finding ancestor, Moana must journey to the far seas of Oceania into dangerous, long-lost waters for an adventure unlike anything she's ever faced. Not really. Like she met a demigod.
No,
Like
she faced worse in the first movie.
she like rescued Mother Nature in the first movie. Like,
Yeah, all the
yeah,
big fucking lava monster and shit. And this
yeah.
one, she like, I don't know, sails real good.
Yeah, this I, I I don't know what they were thinking because like
Yeah,
I know it was going to be a stretch to like continue this, but it was like because the first movie was like putting harmony back to like Mother Nature and appreciating the earth and the coming of age and all that sort of stuff. But
uh-huh.
this one, it was like, okay, you've set her up. She's going to be a wave finder. We already knew that. Like she could already control the waters. But it was like, who's going to be a big bad after you've fought this like massive volcano
Yeah,
thingo? Where it
they
was
kind
just,
of started setting one up. Like, I really thought that the person who captured Maui at the beginning of this movie, I thought that she was going to be the big bad. I was like, okay, cool. She reminded me a little bit of the voodoo guy in Princess and the Frog. I was like, fuck, okay, this character's kind of interesting, kind of cool. And then it's not.
no,
It ends up the twist is that she's actually good and that she's helping, and then you never see her ever again. She was probably the most interesting character in the fucking movie.
yeah.
Then just nothing.
I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
So it took them like 40 minutes to reunite Moana and Maui. And I was
yeah,
like, the whole fun part of like number one was their interactions, like them going
yeah.
back and forth at each
That
other.
big brother sort of sibling interaction, and yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And then we just get obviously Moana at her home, and then her home's like originally, no, you can't leave. We need to be safe. And now it's like, go, be free, do what you need to. We trust you. I mean, I
yeah.
guess you did
She
save
was spoken to
everybody.
by the ancestors, which is a wayfinder. There's some like title involved in that,
Oh
you know.
yeah, like I get it, but all of a sudden it's like it's a drastic change to away you go, jump on a ship and we'll trust everything you say. But
Yeah,
like,
there's a song. There's two songs about it. So two songs means everyone
yeah,
changes their mind. You haven't seen
yeah,
musicals before?
yeah, I get it. But like this, it took a long time. Like they could have just been
It
her.
did. It felt ages.
Yeah, like I didn't need to see her day-to-day life. We already knew like she's gone back, she's living her life, and then away you go. Like set her and Maui up. Like Maui was captured and just stuck there for 40 minutes doing like
Yeah.
nothing. And
Well, they
then
tried to set up these other three new characters. The whose names I've already forgotten.
you mean
There's
the new comic relief rather than the chicken and the pig.
yeah. I mean, Hey Hey was in it a little bit. Moni, who was the new strong guy on the ship. Lotto or Lotto which was the like fix-it smart woman,
Yeah.
and then Kelly was like the farmer. And yeah, all three of them felt like comic relief at different times. Like none of their characters really had much like story purpose besides a couple of little gags here and there. Oh, look at the team banding together.
They did nothing.
Like, yeah, they could have not been on the ship, and the story would have made zero difference.
Also, how deep is that ship? So like there was one point where well like he popped out of the bottom of it and I was like, how deep does the ship go? Like,
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where the farmer is.
yeah. Like
Yeah,
he looked like he was full standing. Also, that ship doesn't look like he would sleep very well. Like how are you meant to sleep on that ship?
yeah.
You
The story
sleep underneath.
convenience is pretty deep.
Yeah. Nah, not as deep as the ship.
Yeah, just the internal, not the external.
No. But like
Yeah, I had problems with that too, but it's
whatever.
whatever.
Like those characters may as well not have been there. Then we get introduced again to the one of those little coconut minion warrior gremlin
Uh,
type of things.
uh, yeah,
Can't
they call
remember.
them Coco something.
Yeah, I can't remember what they were, but they were pretty terrifying in the first one. Like they were that standard cute dangerous.
The Kakamora.
Oh, that's not even close to Coco something.
I thought it was Coco as well.
Like
Kakamora, a rowdy horde of coconut-clad pirates that Moana and Maui encounter on their voyage, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's them.
yeah. So
Sure
like
thing.
we get reintroduced to them, but they're just running away from this like island with teeth, which
Yep,
was like, okay, whatever. And then one of them
yep.
tags
Giant
up.
vagina. It's
Yeah,
literally a big clam shape in the water that like opens up. It's like, come on.
funny. But like, what are they doing? Like, you are trying to sell merchandise here at some point where you've just got you throwing him in there.
With the
So you,
Kakamora.
yeah,
Yeah. Of
and
course, that's
like,
what Disney do. They make more money out
yeah,
of merchandise with cars and all that shit, cars and Toy Story, than they do with the actual film sales. They're always been put in here. That's why every show has like a Minions character or something like that, because you've got to have some little cute character that you can sell.
yeah, fair.
Star Wars did the same thing when they added the fucking penguin things. What the fuck were they called again?
The Happy Feet.
No, no, no. Star Wars. The little
Oh,
penguin
Star
things in
Wars.
Star Wars. I forget what they're called. Do
Oh, I don't know. I thought that
you
was
know what I mean?
no, but whatever. I was gonna say Ewoks, but yeah.
Porgs. The porgs that goes "Meow."
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Those things.
Those little things. Same shit.
Yeah,
Merchandise.
yeah.
That's why Spaceballs paid it out. But yeah, you're right. Those characters didn't need to exist. A lot of this whole story didn't need to exist. Something happened. Like I wrote my notes really early. I am not mad about the progression of her story. Like, okay, she's saved the island, whatever. The next thing in like the evolution of her sort of society is connecting with other islands. That's
Yep.
fine. I like that. I don't think that's a bad story at all. But I was wondering like how are you planning on making that an epic adventure? Because it's just sailing. And I thought that when Maui was captured, I thought, okay, this character is going to be the big bad. This character is going to capture Maui, and then she can't actually succeed in finding the island until Maui's been rescued. And I thought it was going to be a rescue story, which would have been less fun as well because the whole Maui combination is what works. Um, but yeah, there was no big bad, and not to go straight to the climax, but we get to the end, and the climax, in air quotes, is literally them sailing into like a storm. And like the storm's supernatural and they're gonna like chop up the fucking tornadoes and stuff or whatever it is. It's weird as fuck. But it felt more like an act two climax than an actual end of movie climax.
Yeah.
Uh, it had no weight. And then it just sort of ended.
Oh, and then she got a new tattoo. She gained a tattoo.
Yeah. Which I'm wondering if that means she's a demigod now. Because that's how he got his tattoos. Is she a demigod? Was that
It was never like fleshed out. So
did she die at that time and then got rescued by the gods? I don't know.
I don't know. I think I
I'm
don't
looking it
know.
up. Is
I did.
Moana a demigod now?
So
According to Moana 2 ending sees the leader sacrifice her life so her people were connected to other nations don't perish. Though her transformation into demigod comes as movie's biggest shock, early in the story, Moana 2 foreshadows a twist through one minor detail. So yeah, she becomes demigod in the film.
there you go.
There you go.
So now, right, that wasn't overly like clearly, clearly what's it called?
Yeah, because she dies through
Displayed, yeah,
sacrifice, and then she becomes a demigod,
yeah.
which I grasped, but it didn't explain that to me. And for a dumb baby kids movie, I sort of expected it to be like, this is what's happened now. She is now a demigod, or her saying like, "Oh my God, am I a demigod?" Or fucking, what's his name, storyteller guy. What's happening to your screen? You got fucking light
That's
coming in.
yeah. So my green
All
screen
right.
and it cuts off half of it, so the
I
sun's
thought
like moving.
Moni, I thought Moni was gonna come in and be like, "Oh my God, you're a demigod." Get it? And then yeah, but it wasn't. It wasn't really explained, which was surprising.
I'm gonna shut that blind. But yeah, it was
Yeah,
so
you're good.
bizarre.
Um, what else? So I got really frustrated with the three fucking comic relief come along characters because the first time they're on the ship, they're just dicking around with the ship, and they like the fixer woman is just cutting ropes everywhere. The storytelling guy is like playing with the fucking the oar, and the old man's just complaining about everything. They just none of them are like fucking Moana's meant to be this super knowledgeable and like given a gift from the gods with her wayfinding, sorry. Fucking let her do her job. Let her sail the fucking ship. Those three were just dicking around for ages. And I know it's meant to be like, conflict, but it got me really annoyed. Those characters pissed me off very,
She
very early.
she never really got annoyed at him. She was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna deal with the
Yeah.
chaos." Like she was
And
just
then
like,
she sung
"Oh,
a song.
okay, yeah."
Yeah. And
It
there's
was
me like,
weird.
let her fucking sail the ship. And holy shit, it's 2024 and we're still putting goat screams in movies.
Oh,
The
that's
that
right, that blobby
that
thingo.
blob thing did like the goat scream. The goats. I literally watched The Grinch earlier this week at school. I was told to the animated one, and there's a goat in that that does the goat scream, and I was like, oh wow, that really dates this. And it's 2024, and Moana 2 is doing a goat scream gag. Really fucking cringe.
Oh, yeah. So originally Moana was meant to be a TV show or something or other, and then they made
Oh,
it
is that
into a
right?
movie.
Right.
So like I don't know if it would have done as well if it was a TV show.
I don't know. I think kind of would have done better because a TV show you can do little like 20-minute adventures. You know, think of like the Lilo and Stitch show where it's like little mishaps happen. Oh, this time we gotta go do this. This time we gotta like little things happen where they can just go out and do little adventures. Where I think that this is actually held back by how fucking long they made it,
Right.
and
Well,
like they try to find things because this within itself, go and find an island, is a very short idea, and they
yeah,
stretch
true.
it over an hour and 40.
True. Also, the songs were nowhere near as good. So
No,
like the
none of
first
them.
the first one is like there's probably four songs that I'm like, yeah, I'd happily listen
Yep,
to it if it came on. This one I was
yep.
like, I've forgotten every single one. Like none of them I can remember,
No,
like at
no,
all.
no. He's even like bopping along with the only song that I was like had a bit of a smile on my face was right at the end when they redid one of the songs from the first one.
Yeah, but
They did the fucking that one. That one. No, I don't know the fucking lyrics to it. But yeah, that's the only time was when I'm reminded of the first movie. I'm like, oh, that movie's better.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
no songs were good in this. The song, there was one that Maui's song that he sings, where he's like, it's just, I was gonna say Dwayne Johnson, that's not his name anymore. Callum Drift.
Challenger.
When when Callum Drift is like just talk singing more or less like rapping because they don't know what else to do with him because he can't sing. They make him just talk fast. Um, but that song had a good like rhythm to it because they're trying to make him like rap. But it still wasn't a good song.
No. So this whole movie
Made a,
missed the mark though. It was like I was
Speaking of
just
missed the mark, they made a joke about butt dial. And
oh
he's like,
that's
oh,
right.
that'll be funny in 2000 years. That, like, that didn't land at all. The cinema did not laugh. They laugh at a lot of shit in this movie. They laugh at Hey Hey and all that dumb stuff. The cinema did not laugh at all with a butt dial joke.
Well, it doesn't even fit the piece though. Like I know they were doing
No.
a future
Same with
reference, but
saying
it's like
he goes multiple times actually, especially when she becomes demigod at the end. He's like, "Oh, you leveled up." Like, wouldn't have you leveled up would have zero context in a world without video games where you level up.
yeah.
Like, what the fuck does that even mean? That's when
Uh,
it takes me out of the fantasy of this like Polynesian island world. Is when you say dumb shit like that.
yeah. But the animation looked good. There was nothing really wrong
Yeah,
with it. Yeah,
sure. But at
like
this
it
point, that's expected.
yeah, like it looked pretty, but unfortunately they have completely missed the mark. Like all it was a big ask doing number two. Like number one wrapped up so nicely. Don't why? Why do we need this? Like,
No.
did you just need a movie to do well? Because like it bombed out on the recent few
Well,
releases. Like what's
and it has.
yeah,
They've done great. They've made money. So what shits do they give? In all the things they care about, the parameters of success for Disney, this ticks the boxes. They don't care about what the critics think.
true, true.
Otherwise, would have made
Uh,
a Frozen 2 either.
hey,
There'll be a
hey,
3,
hey, 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 hey. Frozen 2 is better than Frozen 1.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's a rare moment that two's
I haven't
a
seen Frozen 2. I have no opinion.
Frozen 2 is actually heaps better. Like there's actually some weight on it rather than just saying, "Oh no, my powers are out of control, leave me alone." Number two is actually
Right.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's how I felt with the first one, to be honest. So I'm glad
Yeah,
the second's better.
yeah, yeah. So unfortunately, it's
Uh,
not the case for this one.
no. The whole payoff was she did it. That's it.
Yep. Now you're a
Like there was,
demigod.
yep, which
Check.
had no weight in this film, which we have to wait for number 3 for, which not excited.
No, I guess she's gonna go back to her island and reconnect all the other islands because now she's a demigod.
But if they make the third movie where it's Maui and Moana, two demigods, going on some like fucking massive adventure, fighting like other like the first movie, how they fought, big fuck off lava monster and shit. Like if that's where they take the third one and they make it the big epic grand adventure again, fucking dope. Do that. This missed the mark because you've made a sequel to a movie that was an epic grand adventure and you've made it fucking Tintin
A Sunday Drive
Tintin's
adventure.
yeah, Tintin saves his dog sort of shit. Like it's just a really bland story. It feels like filler episode, you know?
Yeah. Well, you reckon that if they fought Godzilla, I'd be down.
That's the crossover I want.
Yeah.
I want Godzilla, Kong, and Moana.
Mothra, throw him in there too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it'd be fun.
Moana rides in on Mothra. Maui's fucking riding King Kong.
And Godzilla's just wrecking shit.
Yeah, Godzilla's shooting lava.
That'd be pretty cool. What would
I'd
you
be
give?
down. That's what this thing was boring as fuck. 1.5.
Eh,
It looks pretty. I didn't not laugh. A couple of things made me like, that's kind of funny, I guess. But it's 1.5. It's very bland.
yeah, I had it at a two. Like it was, there was moments
Yeah,
where I was like, oh, it's all right. And then other times I'm like, all right, when's this going? When's the ending?
yeah,
Let's move on.
and that's fair. And I think that reflects quite well on our, first movie enjoyment.
No, disappointing.
Yep.
All right, let's get in to Dune Prophecy. So, I like the Frank Herbert's miniseries. I like how campy it originally was, and then they went bigger than Ben-Hur with their CGI prettiness, and if they've blown out of the water. So, just because I like an IP doesn't mean that I ever get names right. So, do you get
Yeah, this will
any?
be showing a little bit of ignorance, I think, even on my end, because I've only seen Dune one, part two, once each. They're fucking great, as we've discussed on this before. But my knowledge of like the lore and all the families and stuff is pretty surface level, so
Yeah,
we will do our best.
we'll do our best. So, all you Dune fanatics, I'm sure you're going to be raging at us, and just you general people that are good at English, you're going to be raging at me. So, here we go. So, to Haruki, I can't get that out of my head now. I was saying that.
You're right.
It's not
Harkonnen.
Harkonnen, but all I can think of is Harukin,
Hadouken. Yeah.
sisters combat forces that threaten the future of humankind and establish the fabled sect that will become known as the Bene Gesserit.
The Bene Gesserit. So the
Yeah.
Bene Gesserit are the ones in the Dune movies who can like
They're the
say words, and so that Paul Atreides' mother was a Bene Gesserit and
yeah,
could say stuff and make people do things,
mind
and they were the
control.
they didn't control minds; they control bodies. Like
True,
'cause they still
true.
have control. They still have control over their mind. Um, but yeah,
Do you
that's
think it is
The
though?
Bene Gesserit.
Like they're more suggestive, like it's a subliminal message that's like pick up the knife, put it to your neck. Like and then
Yeah,
they do it rather than like actual them controlling it. Like they're giving them suggestions on how to do things.
yeah. I guess mind control's not inaccurate.
They
Yeah,
plant subliminal messages that are really strong in their minds. I don't know.
yeah. I don't know. However you want to call it. They say put the knife to your throat, and they put the knife to their throat. However you want to describe that, then that's what it is. But yeah, I guess
Yeah.
mind control is not it's not too far from what it is. But
Also, why I've only ever seen them, I may have blocked this out of my memory, but the only time they ever use their powers like this is like either to kill someone, really. Like, surely this could be used to manipulate more things than just like put the knife here or like burn or whatever. Like, I feel like there's going to be,
yeah, I guess so. It's always done in like a malicious way.
yeah, I feel like there's going to be more uses to it, surely. Like, couldn't,
Yeah, but
like,
it's like it's the first time that the Bene Gesserit are sort of discovering this power. Um, Valia Harkonnen, our main sort of truth truth seer, they are. Um, she sort of discovers the ability to do this. So I think it's still sort of hush hush and trying to figure out, this is like a last straw sort of thing.
okay.
Uh,
So they're like
but yeah, I don't know.
a covert unit of women that have these magical powers.
Yeah, well, this at this point in the lore, this is 10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides. This is like well before any of the lore from the Dune movies. Um, this is at a time where the Bene Gesserit, their whole thing is to be able to see people are lying, and they work for like high level diplomats or whatever, lords, kings, etc. And their job is to be in tune with people's bodies and to recognize whether or not they're lying, and they're truth seers. That's their whole thing.
Human lie
Um,
detector.
yes, as she puts it. Which again, just like with Moana, I don't like the human lie detector because it means that there's a non-human lie detector. And in this world, would there be? I don't know, maybe. I guess it is pretty high tech.
Maybe. But haven't they? They've kind of gone away from high tech because like the whole thing is that they had the
Yeah.
robots that are like
Yes.
Skynet, and they're like, no, we're done away from that. We need to
Yeah.
move
The
away. But
thinking robots.
yeah, but we've kept some tech which we can control that has an on-off switch where the Skynet own mind robots you need to stay away from them. Which
Yeah.
I kind of like the little lizard thing. I thought that was pretty
Yeah,
cool,
it's cool.
cool
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
thing.
Let's go through some story. This show jumps back in time a little bit, like there's a bit of time jumping. It starts with Valia, so it's Valia and Tula Harkonnen, who are sisters. The Harkonnens, by the way, they're if you look at the original Dune movie, not original, but the Dune movies we've watched, the Paul movies, um, the Harkonnens are the bad guys. That the guy fucking on his big chair and Batista's character and stuff, they're the Harkonnens. Um, they these two characters are part of the Truth Seers, or they're like apprentices, I suppose. There's a Mother Superior who's like dying, and her daughter is like to be the next Mother Superior. The current Mother Superior dies, and Valia is like the chosen one. But she doesn't see eye to eye with the next one in line, and she uses her powers to make her kill herself.
Yeah.
So then we jump in the future or back to, I guess I'm gonna say that's past, and then the present is the rest of the story. We jump to the present, and Valia is the Mother Superior now. Um, Tula is her like Reverend Mother, like 2IC, I suppose, and they're leading this group of women, the Truth Seers. But there's also like this underlying, like they're trying to assert themselves higher up the food chain by like using their powers to work with high diplomats and sort of communicating together to try and like with their truth, they're realizing that if they tell people certain truths about the world, they can steer the path of diplomacy, I suppose, in their direction. That's sort of what that those two girls are trying to do at this time. Um, there's a bunch of other like sisters and stuff that are involved, and we get more of them and whatnot. But more or less, the big thing is the emperor's daughter, who's set to be a truth seer. She is set to marry this like child, who I think, as they say, is 9. Um,
Yeah, which is a political move in itself.
yes, yeah, because they're marrying him to a Trades. No, not Trades. Sorry. Um, what's the family name? Richese. And the Richeses, they're rich and they have a lot of military power. Um, this is where I'm getting a little bit everywhere with names. So, yeah, that's like a political marriage. No one's really against it. Besides the like the dad sort of against it, but he's setting it up and whatever. He said it feels wrong. But then in comes Ragnar Lothbrok, Desmond Hart.
Oh, it got so much better when he came in. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this was okay. And then he came in, I was like, oh, yeah,
And
Ragnar.
his character is a soldier who was on um what's the Dune planet called again?
Oh, the Spice Planet. I want to say Arrakis.
Arrakis, good job.
Hey,
Uh yeah, he was on Arrakis. He supposedly died, but he was eaten by a sandworm. And there's even footage of it somehow. And he somehow lived, and now he has these like powers. And he killed the husband to be this 9-year-old child, the
yeah,
Richese boy.
he like burns him alive with his special powers.
Mm,
Like he has special
yep.
powers. We don't know why he has special powers.
No. And somehow he manages to, across the universe, he manages to also kill who was the truth sayer for the Emperor. And her name was Mother Kasha. Somehow she dies at the same time. So there's a bit of like, what the fuck happened? We know who did it. We don't know how he did it. The Emperor locks him up. The Emperor's wife releases him. At this stage, it's feeling very like space Game of Thrones. Like there's a lot of like people, fighting for the throne, like political moves and marrying people and killing people and
It does feel more Game of Thrones than Dune. Like Dune felt more of like a
yes,
big epic adventure. Like
yes,
it's like the good versus bad kind of standard one, where
uh-huh,
this is more like political moves, little side moves here and there.
yeah,
Also, do you ever remember A Knight's Tale with like Heath Ledger?
yeah, with his
Remember,
yeah.
remember Roland? He's like offsider, like the stockiest,
Oh,
chubbier
sure,
bloke.
sure.
Yeah, he's in this. He was I was every time he was in it, I was like, I can't place where you are. That's Mark Addy who
Oh, right,
plays.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And he's
Yeah,
also the king in Game of Thrones in the first season.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He is the Harkonnen father.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
in
reckon
the in
he's
the flashbacks.
I reckon he's great. I
Yeah,
enjoy
he's
it.
he's he is. He's
Yeah,
absolutely great.
yeah. He was in it. He's also Friar Tucky and Robin Hood. We're our moped friend from
Yeah, everybody plays a
Russell
bit
Crowe.
of an oaf. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
A moped mate.
yeah. Like the first episode, I was like, oh, okay, this is not gonna be too,
Yeah,
it's
just
not gonna be too
drowning
good.
in exposition.
Yeah. Even their fight scenes, I was like, oh my God, when the princess was like doing her
Oh, training.
her
Yep.
moves and when they had the fight, I'm like, this is not choreographed well. I was like, this
Yep.
is this is bad. But
She
like,
is training with an Atreides, who we obviously know is part of Paul Mardik Atreides family line.
yeah,
And he's not yet in a like his family line isn't yet in a similar position to like what we saw the Atreides family in those stories. So it's interesting to see where that goes. And we can see with him as well, he's like a spy or like a double agent who's is working for the crown, but he's also part of some like rebellion who's trying to overthrow the crown in some way or like trying to infiltrate. We don't really know why yet.
yeah,
Uh yeah, it's very Game of Thrones and like there's a lot of moving pieces right now. There's a lot of characters doing things. I didn't love Game of Thrones in the first three episodes, so I don't love this yet. But I mean, I'm intrigued. I'm gonna watch more.
yeah. There's only 6 episodes as well, so it's not it's not too bad. Like if they flesh this out with your standard like 24 episodes, I'd be like, nah, I'll probably
They're
skip
doing
it.
six total, or is that six season one?
Season one is 6. I don't. There's
Okay,
no word on a season two yet, so
okay,
I don't know yet. So next episode is the 8th of December, so that's tomorrow, 16th and the
yep,
23rd. So we can give you a roundup on that. But like there's a lot of like what the hell is happening at the moment. Like there's not a lot of
yes.
answers. It's just
And
here we
there's
go.
a lot of things being explained to you,
Yes,
like world building exposition.
especially in episode 3 when it went to like I guess you want to say
Back to the
the
past again.
yeah, and I was like
Yeah,
I'm a bit disengaged here. Like I don't care that
yeah.
much.
I'm
And
learning
then
about Valia's brother and sister, and there's this whole thing with Tula as a young girl. She like slept with this guy from a rival family, and they were falling in love, and then she like killed his entire like village and stuff. Which I don't know how that plays in yet, but I don't know.
mm,
There's a lot of like, why am I being shown this?
yeah, there's a lot of questions that are there's more questions than answers at the moment. Like I got very few
Yes,
answers. So who knows?
yes, and we often say that three episodes should be answering some questions and asking more. And there's I'm asking a lot of questions, but I'm not sure. Like you said, a lot of answers so far. So,
Mm,
but it's intriguing. Like I would rather something keep asking questions than keep answering questions and not asking more. Like
true.
there's enough with this. I want to watch more of it. Whereas, you know, if it was like From to me, I wasn't asking a lot after three episodes. So I was like, I'm not sure I want to watch more. Whereas this, I want to watch more because I'm like, what the fuck's happening?
True. True. But yeah, there's definitely scenes that I'm like, this is way more engaging than the other ones. So
Yeah,
Ragnar's scenes, I'm like, okay, he's a really cool character. Like
for
there's
sure.
the it's also that like power struggle, like the ladies with the powers, I can't remember their names.
The truth sayers at this point, they are
The truth says,
truth seers. Sorry.
yeah. So them having like their back and forth sort of mind game struggle with Ragnar because he's got like mind powers too.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
he is playing it that he definitely knows way more than he's letting on.
definitely.
So
Which is all interesting because we don't, we know nothing.
we have no idea. So
And
like,
I'm curious to know how he, like, what's his story? You know, he got eaten by a sandworm and survived. And does Sandworm give powers? Like, this is something we haven't seen before.
yeah, I don't know. See his eyes going to turn blue, and then away he goes.
Well, there is a woman in the bar who has blue eyes. Um, I don't even think we even get her name. I'm
Uh,
wondering if she is a what are the people called who live on that planet? But spice gives you the blue eyes, and yet when we see characters in this show snort spice, they don't get blue eyes. But I wonder if it's like long-term use.
Well, yeah, originally it was like prolonged use, so everyone on Arrakis had like blue eyes that were using the
Mm.
spice.
But then shouldn't like I'm surprised that well you keep saying Ragnar, I might as well keep saying Ragnar. I'm really surprised that Ragnar doesn't have blue eyes as well then, because he lived on this planet as like a soldier.
Whenever he has contacts.
Yeah, he wears contacts.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, look, I really like the set designs of Dune. Like I like the blend
Oh, for
of
sure.
high tech quality with also like post-apocalyptic, like
Yeah,
just Mad Maxy, whatever.
yeah, yeah. I think what I love about the Dune movies, some of it's in this. Like I really like the world building. I think the characters and their sort of like the history of characters in that are really interesting, or like families and that, which I guess we're finding out through this because this is the history. But I'm not getting that epic scale that I got in the Dune movies, which I guess I was sort of expecting out of this. But
No,
I like Game of Thrones, and Game of Thrones doesn't start like that. It's political intrigue. So yeah, this isn't bad. It's just I need more
yeah,
right now.
which we hope we get soon. But I'm still enjoying it. I'm just not
Yeah.
like hooked on it. But
Yeah, but even this morning I sat down to watch something and I first thing I did was go check if episode 4 is out yet.
yeah,
Because I think that's I want to watch more, like I'm excited for it. Whereas after that actually while we're here, give us a From update. You finished the first season?
I have finished the first season, and I am two or three into the other season. Unfortunately, working on the is winding down at this time, but for some reason it's just gotten busier, which is
Right.
a whole different reason. But it's got quite interesting. So like this, it's furthering the plot rather than like where Lost was like they did a reveal and then you're like, what? That's just dumb. This is kind of like they stuffed the ending because the ending of episode one, season two, should have been the ending for the season. So where they ended at season one, they tried to do it on a cliffhanger where it was like, oh no, the main characters, well, one of the main characters is in danger. But then
Okay.
the reveal after that is way more interesting than the actual like, oh my God, he's in danger.
Right, right, right.
Which it was just
Okay.
it was bizarre. Like it's it's very intriguing. Like I will definitely be watching more over the
Okay.
school holidays, but I'm like you just there's weird points where you're like that should have been either cut down or that should have been
Yeah.
like
Okay. So they're
removed
sort of
into it.
suffering that like Walking Dead like syndrome where they know they have to fill episodes and they just like this feels a little like
Um,
lagging or
it's not that. I think it might just be because like the idea and the presentation and everything is kind of cool. I think just looking at his actual like list of stuff, I think it's this is his first like actual crack at it. So he's done an episode, the Twilight Zone. He's done one episode. He's done Carter and then From. So I think it's just an experience thing.
oh,
Like
okay.
like I don't know that it's anything else besides like
Okay.
this is his first crack at something.
Which is maybe it gets better in the later seasons because by then he's got a bit more time under his belt.
Yeah, like what people are saying on like TikTok and stuff. They're like season it gets better each season. So
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, I wear the update because it's that's what this. It's interesting to compare these two because one's all answers no questions and one's all questions no answers. So I'm sort of seeing where you stand on that. Thank you.
even if you look at IMDb, like if you look at each individual rating, it's like they they get each season gets more solid, I guess, in their ratings. Like more consistent,
Yep.
than like some are really good, some are less.
Up and down. Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah. So,
All right.
well,
Thank you.
since you got
All right. Back to this. Let's wrap it up. It's a 3.5 from me. Just like I gave the first Dune movie a 3.5. It's almost like I need the rest of it to feel like a complete thing. Right now, it's just exposition and things being explained to me.
yep.
So it feels like the first Dune movie. I need
Okay.
part two. Part two is a fucking five. So let's see how this goes. Where are you at?
I'm at a three. Like I'm enjoying it. I'm just not
Yeah.
hooked on it. Like it's just not not there.
Fair.
But I'm interested. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All
So
right. Let's hot frosty this bitch.
Hot Frosty, the newest, one of the newest Netflix are pumping out. They're pretty much worse than Hallmark at the moment, like with their
Oh, it is
Christmas
the new
stuff.
hallmark. Yeah.
Like it's insane. This I don't even know how to explain this. I don't know if they're self-aware or not, because
It's
this
it's strange.
like sometimes I feel like they're self-aware, other times I'm like, no, you like I don't know if you're taking the piss or not. Like it's my sense of humor where you don't know if you're serious or not.
It's true. That's you. Yeah.
I get a lot of enjoyment with confusing people with my humor because they don't know if I'm being serious. And
Yeah.
this is it.
That.
It's-
Yeah. In a whole movie.
yeah. So this is Widow Kathy magically brings a snowman to life. His innocence helps her heal and find love again. They bond before the holidays, but he's doomed to melt. So
Yeah.
they do not waste
This
any.
is this is the old Frosty the Snowman story of a snowman coming to life, but with a sexy male at the end.
There's a bit there's a bit more to it.
I mean, is it?
Yeah, yeah. We've got all sorts of different things, bits and pieces
Yeah, but
moving.
at its crux, like
Oh
if I'd
yeah.
explain to someone what this story is about, that's what it is. It's Frosty the Snowman, but he's a hot man,
Would
hot
you
Frosty.
would you count it as a parody or would you count it as a romantic comedy? Would you count it as a drama?
I
Would you count?
genuinely don't know because part of it feels like it's parody, and like, come on, it's got to be. But some of it's really earnest, or they try to. So I don't know. To me, it feels like a gross rom com. I don't think it's it. I don't think it's like last week when we watched what the fuck was it, the um Our Little Secret.
Yeah.
That felt like a parody. That felt like no one was taking it seriously. Everyone was just dicking around. This felt a little bit more serious. Like they were trying to build like a good romance.
See, the director has done Schitt's Creek, which is very funny. It's very like tongue in cheek,
Yeah,
dry humor. Where
yeah.
I'm wondering is like, were they trying to get that across? Because
But
like,
Schitt's Creek's obvious. I think it's really clear what they're trying to do there. This doesn't have that.
yeah, true, true. Oh man, so she.
I've got a lot to say. I'm hoping we have enough time.
Well, we'll get straight into it. So she
Yeah,
wastes no time. She puts her scarf on the snowman for whatever reason, just because
yeah.
like there was other snowmans, but this one for whatever reason was chiseled in his his like a chiseled man.
It was sexy.
Yeah, puts a scarf on it. I was like, there you go. And all of a sudden, the scarf brings him to life.
Yep.
They give no justification on why, just because
No,
the scarf
Christmas magic.
is yeah, whatever. And then there's a whole subplot of him breaking windows, stealing clothes, and the sheriff of the town
Oh,
is like so fixated on the rules and
it's
just
yeah.
just being just being awkward because he can. We have a
Which is
dep
Craig Robinson, and Craig Robinson plays such a fun, ludicrous character in everything he does, and he's so subdued in this.
yeah, they he was like I don't think they gave him direction. He was just like, you need to be following the rules, and he was like, I'm a,
Cool.
I follow the rules. And
Yep.
then his deputy, which was Joe I don't know how to say his last name, but he's on
Trulio,
Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Nine-Nine.
Nine-Nine. And so's Craig. He's the Pontiac Bandit.
Oh, that's right. And they're
Hmm.
both very funny on that show. They were
Yes.
just awkward here. Like
They had nothing to do.
it was awkward. And like
Yeah.
the deputy, he was just like encroaching on people's space. Like he was just there. Like he was just awkward. It was weird.
Yeah. But that's
Didn't
what
feel up
Joe
to it.
does though. Even when
Yeah,
he's in Yes Man, he plays like an awkward. He always plays that guy who's like got unearned confidence. Like he tries to be charismatic and really confident, but he's also weird and awkward. And
yeah,
why is he so confident?
yeah.
Sort of
Fair.
characters. That's what he does. That's fine.
Yep. And then we get Jack the Snowman, who is
Yep.
just absolutely ripped. Like he's ridiculously ripped in this.
Yep.
And for some reason, our main lady, Kathy, who was Gretchen in Mean Girls.
Yep.
Yep,
Gretchen Wieners,
yep.
Kathy
She
Barrett.
she's been in a lot of Christmas films. Like I feel like she just comes out in the holidays and gets a paycheck and then goes missing again for quite some time.
Yeah, I guess I don't watch enough fucking garbage Christmas movies because I haven't seen her in a long time.
Like I went through her list before and it was like voice acting, Christmas movies, voice acting, which is
Right.
which
Merry
is
Scottish Christmas. Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Wedding
So
Veil Expectations, Wedding Veil Inspiration, The Wedding Veil Journey.
yeah,
Yeah, right. Haul Out the Holly. Okay. She's on a lot of garbage.
yeah,
Which is like knowing that's her experience making these garbage films makes me even more dubious that this is a parody. Like you wouldn't hire someone like that who'd make a lot of garbage Christmas movies and make it a parody.
yeah, fair. So for whatever reason, our two main, Kathy and Jack, they meet each other, and
Yeah.
then Kathy all of a sudden feels sorry for him, invites him home, and is like,
Yeah.
just watch TV. And he's just watching TV, learns how to cook, but then all of a sudden, conveniently at different times, anytime there's some heat or like some warm areas, which I assume in those areas that do have a lot of snow, don't they have like thermostats or generators and stuff that make sure that the house is at a certain temperature so
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
doesn't freeze?
100%.
So
Yeah.
like it's just a convenient plot point at certain times where it's like he's melting. Oh
Yep.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, oh,
You
okay.
gotta add some tension. Same with the whole like cops chasing him around because he was naked in a street at night one night. Like you
Yeah.
gotta have otherwise what's the tension? If it's just dumb romance between two characters, there's no tension.
Yeah. And then he's meant to be like extremely cold to the touch. And like there was just
Yep.
points where all of a sudden she was like, oh, I'm going to kiss you, but makes no reference to him being like freezing. Like, wouldn't that be
No.
like touching an ice pole or whatever? Like, isn't it?
Yeah. It'd be funny if she like kissed him and her tongue stuck to his or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Like
something.
remind us that he's meant to be a fucking snowman.
Also, there was a weird scene where there was a lot of sexual innuendos. Like there was the
Which
part where,
one?
like a lot of the time, but there was one which
Yeah.
was like, whoa, where he was on the roof and then the lady was
Oh
driving,
yeah, that shit's crazy.
but she was driving past and was like, ooh, and then crashes. And
Yeah.
then he's like, oh, I'll help you. Drops past and is like, oh, I will help you push. And it was like this back and forth. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what rating is this? Like,
I know.
is
And she's
this,
like, I can't remember in the words. I should have written some down, but yeah, I'll push you from behind. He goes, and she's like, oh yes, please.
yeah, it was,
And the whole time she's like, oh, like making moaning sounds, and he's fucking, oh yeah, it's real. Like they just lathered that on thick at that
right.
point.
This
Yeah,
is,
that was crazy.
this is PG. Since
PG?
this is,
Nah.
this is TV PG. So, what's the conversion
But
for us?
but so was fucking Dear Santa, and that had like uncle pedophile jokes.
Bro.
Like I didn't think I'd be the one complaining about what's PG these days, but what the fuck is PG these days?
Well, let's have a
It's
look.
crazy.
It's G. It's G rated in Australia.
Oh wow. Nah. Nah. That's ridiculous.
That's wowzers. All right.
Yeah, look.
They obviously didn't watch the entire film. Whoever's rating it,
Yeah,
they were
right. They got bored.
like,
Went on their phone. They're like, oh, fuck this. Give it a G. Let's move on with our lives.
they're like, yeah, yeah, that's
No
good.
shit.
That's insane.
One of
But
my favorite moments. I watched with subtitles, as you know, and when he starts to defrost and become a man, the subtitle came up. EDM version of Tchaikovsky's The Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy plays, and I think that totally set the theme of the whole thing. An EDM version of the classic music that set the whole tone for me. That was fun. I laughed pretty hard at that.
Do,
A lot of this is references. They there's a ginger character called Katie, which is 100% a reference to Mean Girls because it was Kady because I have subtitles again, which is how the whole thing in Mean Girls is her Caddy. No, it's Katie. Um, two of the boys' characters, I forget what their names were. One of them it was Doug and something else. They're two characters that Craig has played in other movies. A lot of this is just like references. One of the characters goes cool, 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 which is reference to Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well. A lot of this was just like references to other pop culture, like anime or not anime. What do you call
TV
them?
shows and films.
Rom-coms and shit.
Yeah.
It's weird. This was just like that classic Born Sexy Yesterday story, but it was a man this time. And he was like a fucking child when he first came out, and it was really awkward. And but that's the same thing they've done with all the other Born Sexies. Usually it's a woman though.
Yeah.
So look, I don't know, credit where it's due. At least it's something different. Because most of the times where it's a Born Sexy Yesterday story with a man, it's like Tarzan or George of the Jungle, where they're not heavily sexualized and they're also very masculine. Where this guy, until he started building stuff, then he became quite masculine. But he was just a dumb little doo-doo head child
Yeah.
uh, initially. Anyway, I laughed a lot in this.
Yeah, it was so bizarre that I was like, oh my God, this
Yeah,
is this is actually really fun. Like I didn't know what to expect each scene. Like there was a moment where
yeah,
Craig Robinson had like a full monologue where he was just like
yeah,
talking about how to catch this guy. And he's like, oh, there's no security cameras. How do you know? And then he's like, he literally is by himself and he's like, there's a camera at the ATM. I
yeah.
swear to God, he was breaking the fourth wall. Like, was he looking at me when he was saying this?
he's,
I'm like,
he's
what
telling
is,
he's telling you there's an ATM.
yeah, I'm
Like,
like, it was, it
yeah,
was,
obviously.
it was
I
just
feel like that's
it was a weird
yeah,
scene. And him
yeah,
pointing at the camera was a really long time. Also,
yeah.
would the camera go that far? Like, aren't they like kind of blurry? You know how like
Oh, 100%.
the self
But
checkouts now have like a
zoom enhance. You
oh,
know,
so
it's a meme. It's a meme for a reason. Yeah, I
yeah,
know. Uh, a lot of it is like that, where things just happen because the story needs it to happen.
yeah, it
Like,
was it was wild. And
like
then
in working at a school. Like, do you not need police checks in a fucking school in America? They just chucked him in a school as like the janitor or whatever he was, the fucking maintenance man, and he's just working at a school all of a sudden.
yeah, like
The whole thing.
your police checks only take like 6 weeks to get cleared
Nah,
and in, but whatever.
just chuck him in. Don't worry, he's handsome. He's good looking. He's wearing a
Yeah.
scarf. Chuck him in. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he'd be fine. He'd be fine. And like the whole town within, I don't know what time frame this was, but they'd fallen in love. He'd
Yeah,
he'd captured the hearts of everybody.
yeah,
He was buying like glass panel windows off a credit card. Like surely a big
yeah.
transaction
Online.
like that, like wouldn't you need some form of security?
Yeah.
Also, how does he
He just
know?
buys a window. How do you know the dimensions of the window and how thick the window was? And he just goes online and buys a glass pane.
Also, how does he know how to use a computer? How does he know how to
Yeah,
type? How does he know how to spell? Like,
because he saw it on TV. Don't you get it? He can learn anything if he watches it on TV. He even said
yeah.
it.
And then
I
he
know.
starts working in the diner and stuff, and so
Yeah.
what is happening here? And he
I laugh
started,
at in the same day, this guy's he doesn't understand what food is, but then he asks what the concept of love is, and she like gives him some like vague ass answer about what love is. And he asks what cancer is, and she's like, "Oh, it's something you don't want people to have."
yeah,
Like what?
yeah. There's
Shit's crazy.
so many questions. I'm like, these are our key points. We're not going to
Yep.
explain them, and we need to get a love interest from here to there, and
Yep. Literally.
we need some moments of tension where it's
And
like,
that's why I don't think it's a parody, because a parody wouldn't even bother with like explaining stuff. They would just be like, "Well, here's the next beat."
yeah,
Like this
true,
this really tried to add tension and add like consequences and story actions where
Also, the ending. They're going to Hawaii.
yeah, and
He's gonna melt.
not anymore because he's remember at the end when he became a real man, a real boy like Pinocchio. It was like, what's this feeling? It feels cold. He's a real man now. You missed the ending.
No.
After he died in the he melted in the fucking police headquarters, whatever, in the jail cell. He was cold after that, and he was a real boy.
There's no reason for him to be a real boy though.
Well, it is because you can't love a snowman.
Yeah, but
They meant to fuck a snowman.
he didn't sacrifice himself. He just went into jail.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
Yeah, I know. Literally, whatever. They didn't give a shit. Why should we?
Yeah. What would you give it
It's one and a half, maybe even a two.
then?
It's better than Moana two.
Yeah. Look, I actually enjoyed this the most this week because it was just wild. It was just absolutely wild.
Yeah,
But
it's yeah.
it doesn't deserve a three. It's like a one, but I enjoyed it the most.
It's like a
Um,
one. All right, I'll give it a one for you.
yeah. Oh, but next week we have Secret Levels. So whatever episodes come out, then we have Craven the Hunter, which hope
Yep.
and Lord of the Rings War for Rohirrim. So I'm hoping they're going to be good.
No,
So
hear him.
nope, Rohirrim.
Yeah, I'm keen.
Yeah, that's a big week. It's a big week.
It is actually. Yeah, some good shit.
Hopefully they're good.
Hmm.
And you know what to do if you're listening to us on anywhere, especially now on Apple Music and iHeartRadio, because we're now there. Make sure you
Hey.
give us a 5-star rating. You listen on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe,
Yeah.
and share the podcast with your friends. We'll see you guys
Tell
next
your
time.
friends.
Boys.
Say it every week. Love yous.